So I've been meaning to like just drop in and do a little update for the last couple of days now. Haven't done that, so I guess this is it. Do it now. Yeah. Okay. One thing, I uploaded like 6 videos in a 24-hour stretch, so I figured that you guys should be cool with that for a little while to sit on that and let that digest for a little bit. And before I started doing more uploads, that and I kind of like. I don't say I burned myself out, but it was like going on a long run at a very high speed. So I decided to just chill for a little bit and rest and just do random bullshit. And even then, like, it didn't work out that way. I was getting home like really late after gym, and I didn't have enough time to really to sit and do anything high quality. And I didn't have the energy to do like anything on the engine. And I don't want to fucking make some stupid mistakes because I'm just unfocused and a little tired. So to give a little update on the Integra, I know that it seems like all of a sudden I've fucking forgotten about it, but I haven't. I really just haven't fucked with it because it's gotten really, really cold. We had like a little heat wave this week. It got all the way up to 60 degrees, but now it's snow on the ground and they're projected like 3 to 5 inches this weekend. Anyway, I'm not gonna let that stop me. I'm gonna go out and do some shit on it anyway. I actually did the other day. I mean, not like big stuff, but little stuff. I went out and I plugged the harness into the alternator, so the alternator is fit, and I have bolts for that, so that's going to get bolted on one step closer to getting that engine swap complete. And I fished around and I found some bolts for the T-bracket. Now, I'm not 100% sure they're the right bolts. I'm actually pretty sure they're probably not, but they're close enough and they thread in without any play, so I'm going to probably use those unless it feels a little weird once I get under the car and I'm actually putting some strength on it. So the T-bracket should be a go. The alternator is going to be a go. So yeah, I'd like to get out there and do some stuff on that. And I guess I can put on the oil feed line too. I guess one of the reasons why I kind of like paused on adding stuff to the swap is because I kind of started doing that ABS delete. And like I told you guys like weeks ago, I did start filming, but I just don't film like I think I got like 16 minutes worth of footage, and I don't feel like I did enough to release that. And I know there was going to be a long gap between the next upload, so to avoid that, I just kind of stashed that footage on the computer. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that whole job. I'm not going to release any of it until it's done. And when it is done, I'm going to just put it up in like 15-minute segments or as close to 15 minutes as I can get it. So I'll just be mindful of that as I'm doing the removal. Anyway, the biggest reason why I kind of slowed down on that, well, 2 big reasons. One, the box wrenches I bought weren't the right fucking size. They had everything except for what I needed, so I couldn't use that. So I had to improvise, use different tools, and kind of slowed me down. And then the fact that the intake manifold is in the way of certain things, so I just have to work around it. And I have been like scraping the barrel the last couple of weeks, and I'm going to continue to scrape the barrel for the rest of this month, so I couldn't just go out and buy replacement wrenches. The couple $100 I got put back on for taking that vacation trip in December kind of fucked me up. I guess in other news, the K20 got shipped out today. And I got there right as the last ground shipping guy was loading the truck. So with the 2-day ground shipping, it should be there by Sunday, Monday at the latest. So yeah, hopefully we'll get footage back from that and get that having. Like I said, I'm thinking about getting IGR pistons for the other K20, depending on how this K20 goes. I'll probably get them anyway, and then that one won't be a giveaway. That'll be fucking sold, whether it's on eBay or not. I think I got the now that I got the CSS block from Jeffrey, I'm very confident now on what I need to do to properly box these short blocks. So it's gonna be a lot easier for me to get them out, that a little bit more organized, the fucking engine's not flapping around the box and shit. Also, this is the new idea I'm playing with, and when it comes to this kind of shit, projects take a long enough time where nothing is set in stone until it is. So, but this is the idea I'm playing with right now, and this also seems like the quickest way to get around this kind of dilemma I have, because as much as I have that one guy that's here that I would like to give the engine to, we need to find a whole nother car, and turbo setup, everything, and I just don't think. I mean, yeah, he seems like, yeah, I'm down for it, but at the same time, when somebody's really excited about something, why? Because they talk to you about it all the time, and it just doesn't ever come up in conversation, and that's cool, that's fine. But if the commitment's not there, then then I'm not gonna do that. So, bar somebody being very close to me in my area that I can give this to, that I know guarantees is going to get it, running, and I don't have any faith in that. I think Josh Elkins. I know, man, we haven't talked directly, and maybe it seems like I've been ignoring your comments or whatnot, but I haven't been. I read, like I said, I read everything, which is probably to my detriment. But I have seen you, man. I know that we haven't really made small talk or not recently, but you were the only other person that I immediately came to my mind when I thought about who could run this engine. But that's why I asked you on Instagram that one time, like, hey, do you fucking did you do your own build or whatnot? And then the fact that you have done your own build, then why would you want to run mine? As being an engine builder myself, bro, I wouldn't want to run somebody else's setups. That's just a pride thing, and I understand that completely. So that's why I didn't pursue that avenue a little bit more. Once you confirm that, yeah, you built your own shit, and I'm like, yeah, then I don't want to do that with Josh. But anyway, so to get to the point here, my idea is right now is to finish the LSV that's in the car, finish putting a little bit of shit on there that I need to actually turn it on and run it. And then just break it in, have it sit there and run, fucking let the ring seat and all that good shit, go out there a couple times, let the car run, throttle up a little bit. And get a little footage from that, hey, car's running. And then, like, right after that, pull the fucking swap out and put the CSS nipping block in there. And at that point, I should have everything to just turn it on. I just literally take the transmission, the clutch, all that shit, and swap it over. And I did debate on the idea of taking off the VTEC head, but in the end, I figure, I'm looking for 450 at, maybe 480 at the most. So I'm pretty confident that a stock LS head can, I'll get there. I probably need a little bit more boost, but, the displacement should help a little bit there. And so I figure I'll still break it to the 400s relatively easy with a straight LS setup. So I'm thinking about I'm going to try and look for a local machine shop. And I think if the prices aren't fucking crazy, I'll send a head out. I'm going to tear another head down, not the one that's already torn down, but tear another head down, send it to get resurfaced, and then have like a completely machine fresh block and heads to have zero doubt of anything being an issue when I put the nip and CSS block in. And once I put that in there, that'll be the engine for the Integra, and that's completely fine. I've wanted to do a non-VTEC build for a long time. So yeah, there's that. And then I guess I'll just sideline the LSV for a while until I get something I want to put it in, which is completely fine. I don't mind, like I've said a bunch of times, stacking up engines and running them in different cars or whatever. Or maybe I'll put the LSV in something, make like 500 some horsepower out of it, sell a car or trade it for something else that I want. I really need a truck. I don't have a truck anymore, so maybe I could do that. Or maybe I could trade it for an SRT4 or whatnot, or EP3 or RSX, one of these cars that I really want that I don't have. I'm completely down with doing that. Yeah, so right now I'm strongly leaning towards that idea. And as far as the Vitara single cam goes, I do have the majority of the swap. For the single cam setup, I do have a starter, I'm pretty sure. And I also am pretty confident I have an alternator for that swap too. I don't have a clutch though, and I don't have head studs. So I won't be able to fully assemble. But anyway, because I'm already going to have a mission getting my cars back to Florida when the time comes, I can't really... Besides the fact that, too, it takes me a long time to finish a build, even if I have the entire swap. I know it's going to take me a hot minute to get another car set up. And if I do get it set up, then I kind of have an issue. Because right now, the way things look, I'm going to get a 26-foot U-Haul, and I'm going to tow the Integra, and my wife's going to drive her car. So if I get one more project car, then I got a fucking problem. That means I got to make a whole nother trip or send it in a shipping thingy or whatnot, and that's just a whole hassle that I don't want to deal with. So what's most likely going to happen, I'm sorry to say, is that I'm going to finish the fucking stock block most likely this weekend. Then it's going to get sidelined, just like it did before when it was stock. It's going to get sidelined and until I can get back home and get something to put it in or whatnot. And I really think that I think I have some unfinished business with the EG sedan. So maybe I'm going to look for one of those shells when I get back and drop it in there and have that, or maybe I'll look for a CRX or whatnot. EF chassis is great with a single cam, and high power, so and light chassis, and it has plenty of room in the bay because, the single cam, so you don't have to worry about modifying, getting the traction bar or whatnot, banging out the chassis for all the alternator to make clearance. So that's just a whole bunch of different ideas. Yeah, and just kind of running along. But I think this is all kind of important stuff. Maybe, I mean, you haven't heard from me for a little while. I know I was doing like a whole fuck tons of uploads back to back and whatnot. And anyway, the reason why I'm up close like this is because I'm half naked, and I was really planning on this being like 3 minutes and going on YouTube or going on Facebook. But I know that Josh, for one, that I mentioned already, doesn't have fucking Facebook, so he's not gonna see it. And also, I think that this is enough stuff that'll be interesting for maybe you guys to want to see what's going on or what the plans are. I do plan on getting outside and making a little progress on the Integra, even if it's baby stuff. At the end of the day, I never mentioned this because I don't need it to run the car, but I don't have axles, so there's that I need to get, and I still don't have a distributor. So even if I put the harness on, get the injectors in, put the alternator, at the end of the day, I don't have a battery either. I don't have a battery, I don't have a starter, and I do not have what was the other thing I just said? The other thing that I said that I'm missing, I don't have, distributor. And that's cool, because I plan on buying the axles new, that's fine. I plan on buying a cheap eBay fucking distributor, that's fine. We'll see there and whatnot. And now the fact that I know that I'm just going to run this car long enough, or I'm thinking I'm going to run it long enough for a break-in, I'm not tripping on buying all the extra shit. And also, one more thing I need to do is buy, and it's probably like $8, I want to buy a fucking turbo manifold gasket. I still need to get that. Yeah. And also, Tommy, damn, dude, always get your name backwards. I think it's Tommy Justinson, the guy over at Rising in Maryland. He said he was going to attempt to make me an adapter plate for the turbo, for the new turbo I have. So there's that. I might wait a little while before I try and buy a gasket for that. Yeah. So anyway, that's the lowdown on what's going on with the channel. I do plan on getting some shit done this weekend. Probably gonna do. I probably am going to finish the single cam this weekend, because at this point, the only thing I got to notch is the girdle and whatnot. And I think there's one of you guys on here that has a lack of faith in the clearance on the skunk too. So what I think I'm going to do is I might just I'm playing with the idea of claying up the block and checking like that. But just to address that, Mr. Chuck, when I notched my old single cam block, when I did notch it, there was of course I had to put them in, check it, put them in, check it, see where I was hitting. When I was hitting the block, you could see where the sides of the H-beam was rubbing, right? Because it would make two like track marks in the block. So when I was cutting, I cut just enough to clear, and that engine is running healthy as fuck. So I really don't think that it's going to have an issue. Plus, like the measurement you gave me for clearance, honestly, I don't know where you got it, but I checked it out, I converted it over to millimeters, and the 1/16 of an inch is 1.5 millimeters. So if all I need is 1.5 millimeters to clear, I know I'm in the good already. And plus, to address like the whole old school, beef with the boosted boys and shit. I know that there's a lot of you guys are like, VHP engines and Chris likes to do everything right, and they just throw things together. Actually, I've defended their actions, because I'm completely into doing risky business like that. I'm into risky builds to test things. I've said that a whole bunch of times on this channel. I like using cheap parts. I like doing, builds that might, that could possibly fail, just because I like to test the limits. There was even the fucking LSV that's in the car right now. I call it a suicide block. Why? Because it's got like big ass niches in one of the cylinders. So, I'm at the same time, I don't know how healthy that's going to run in the long term. I don't know how those abrasions are going to wear on the piston rings, but I don't give a shit. And honestly, I'd prefer myself to take the risk and do the risky business, and then tell you guys, hey, this is something that you can get by with, or hey, this is something you can't. But when I go on my teaching spiels and shit, I do like to keep it, healthy, because I don't want to give you guys a false sense of illusion and whatnot. But I do not mind taking risks myself with builds. Anyway, yeah, so to address that one more time, like, I don't really have any beef with whoever it is that runs that channel anymore. I mean, ever. I never did. My only beef was with that guy's fans. So, kudos to him, what they're doing over there. My original thing is I just didn't like the fact that I had a whole bunch of their fans telling me, well, these guys are doing this, so you're wrong on what you're saying. And that's why I said what I said. It's got nothing to do with what they're doing over there. I mean, if they're fucking making 600 horsepower on stock engines, that's great for them. That's fine. If they, that's great. I appreciate that. But anyway, so I just, why I mentioned it now, because somebody mentioned it again the other day. It came up in conversation, but whatever. Yeah, so this has turned out to be a long video. And, one sneak peek real quick. I'll show you. Look. I cut it. I cut it. I tapped out. I cut it. I trimmed up. I cut everything. All right, guys. Good talk. Talk to y'all later. Peace. Thanks for watching.